gone through a lot, and we are always digging for opportunities to make sure our peers, our friends like you, don't go through what we've gone through. So we brought you this wonderful opportunity. It will interest you that Dash in Africa, the whole of Africa, only exists in Ghana, South Africa, Morocco, and Nigeria. And you know the beautiful thing? We introduced Dash in Nigeria. So, Dash Digital Cash was first founded in January 18, 2014, and it was called Xcoin. On 28 February 2014, the same year, the name was changed into Darkcoin. And on 25th March 2015, Darkcoin was rebranded as Dash Cryptocurrency or Dash Digital Cash. You may be asking yourself why we are advocating Dash Digital Cash. We are doing this because cryptocurrencies are generally unique, like Kudus have mentioned. Apart from the money revolution we have gone through in our lives, from the barter trade system to what we consume now, the fiat system, which is only limited to its values, of which it doesn't even obey. And you may be thinking that money is money. That is because you have been accustomed and directed by fiat. And when we say fiat, we mean a law, a control. We mean power. Government and central bank have powered you, have controlled you. They've directed you to accept it as money. So you accept fiat as money. And because of that, you may think that what you are spending is money. Because they have lied to you, it's a good storage of value, a medium of exchange, blah, 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 blah. Which doesn't hold. Simple question. Can you spend your CD in Nigeria? Of course not. If you throw 50 Ghana cedis on the streets of Nigeria to a small boy in Nigeria, it is just a paper lying down. It has no meaning to him. What is that? Trust me, I'm just using Nigeria because Nigeria is very close and I've been there and I know how things goes. You can't even get somewhere, they will accept your CD. And your CD is useless. It is only a medium of exchange within a geographical area, that is Ghana. Right? They will tell you that your CD is a store of value, so you can sell your goods, do your hard job, get paid in Ghana cedis, keep your money in bank so that your money will do what? Would be safe because it's a perfect store of value. It's a big lie. Don't we have inflation? Your city today, can it acquire the goods to acquire today, tomorrow? No. It depreciates, right? We hear things like exchange rate depreciation, inflationary factors, blah, blah, blah. Is that also? So Satoshi Nakamoto, a man nobody knows on this earth, thoughtfully designed what we call the cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a generational word which actually came into existence in 2009. And it is simply from the two combination of words, which is encryption and currency. Right. Encryption simply means what? Who is the tech guy here? What's the meaning of encryption? I just want somebody to tell me. Okay.
Yeah, encryption, as our brother Ellie said, that combining words together to make something very difficult to access.
Exactly. So encryption simply means security, right? I hope we all understand. Yeah, so, and currency, as we all know, is what it is. It is currency. So we have cryptocurrency, meaning what? A secured currency. Simple as that. A secured what? Currency. Cryptocurrencies are generally secured in the sense that you are your own bank. Nobody gives it to you, and nobody tells you what to do with it. Nobody tells you where to keep it. You decide what to do with it. Now, when Satoshi Nakamoto founded Bitcoin in 2009, Bitcoin was actually mined in 2010. The first Bitcoin came to life in 2010. These cryptocurrencies, like you were seeing in the video, are actually built on a technology we call the blockchain technology. The blockchain technology is the biggest revolution in the history of technology and the internet to have ever happened on Earth. So, blockchain technology allows web developers and content creators to go onto the blockchain technology to create their content. But once you send your content publicly so that people can access the content, you lose the ability to go back to make any editing in your content. Okay, and that is the secure aspect of it. So you must be sure of what you have done on the blockchain technology before you let it out for people to access it. Because once people start accessing it, you cannot go back to, make editing. Now you may be asking, what about the person who created this technology? The one who created this technology also programmed is such that once the technology is sent out, he himself loses control of it. And this man called Satoshi Nakamoto, after he created this technology, central banks and big governments like the United States government realized that this guy was going to dwindle them, because when people get to know much about this technology, a lot of people are going to become rich, a lot of people are going to ignore banks, and a lot of people are going to ignore what government directed them to do. So they started hunting this man to kill him. And until today, or up to now, nobody knows his whereabouts. We cannot conclude that he has been killed, but we cannot also say he has not been killed. You see what the world we live into. When you seek to do good things, people go after you. But because the blockchain technology is self-maintaining, after he has delivered it out, when you go on it, you can also work on it and help to maintain the network. A lot of people got access to it and they are maintaining the network, even after him. So there's no way anybody can stop blockchain technology. And today, if you have been following international news, you will hear that IMF is implementing blockchain technology. Singapore government is implementing blockchain technology. Nigerian central bank is implementing blockchain technology. A lot of countries. And some universities like Russia and other places, South Africa, have started courses on cryptocurrency and blockchain technology for young guys like us to go and further our studies on. Because it is something that has come to stay, and whether you embrace it or not, you are going to live by it. Blockchain technology allows for secure transactions like the cryptocurrency, and because of that, banks and financial institutions are embracing it, because financial institutions want security in their operations. Now, apart from Bitcoin, which started a crypto revolution in 2009, a lot of other cryptocurrencies have been created. But because Bitcoin is the mother of cryptocurrencies, all other cryptocurrencies that were created after Bitcoin are called altcoins. So today we have about 1,000 altcoins in the system. Now, why are we in this conference room? We are here to tell you that not all the altcoins you see are genuine. How many of us have heard of Bitcoin? Let me see by hands how many people have heard of Bitcoin. Wow, so amazing. It's about 50 people, so amazing. How many of you have heard of Dash digital cash or Dash cryptocurrency apart from coming here? Let me see by hands. Wow. About 30 of you. That's good. That's good. Yeah, so Dash digital cash or Dash cryptocurrency, as I said already, was also found in 2014 as one of the altcoins in the system. Now, the beauty of cryptocurrency is that cryptocurrency is actually money that is created with a fixed supply. 21 million of bitcoins have been created in the world, and those 21 million is what is going to continue to exist till the end of time. Satoshi Nakamoto cannot go back to blockchain technology to alter, either add or subtract the amount of cryptocurrency already in the system. Now, if you go to CoinMarketCap, which is actually a website dedicated people running and comparing the values of cryptocurrency, you will see that there are some altcoins that has no total supply. Dash have a total supply of 18.9 million coins. Now you may be asking yourself, why do they have a total supply? Basic economics. When we have fixed supply and we have increasing demand, what happens to price? Price increases, right? So when Bitcoin was created, 21 million in 2009, in 2010 when the first Bitcoin was mined, the first Bitcoin was actually trading like 0.0001 cedi. I mean 1 peso. 0.0001 peso. It wasn't even up to 1 peso in 2010. But because of big supply of Bitcoin, which is a 21 million, and a lot of people get awareness about Bitcoin and they keep on buying, price of Bitcoin has increased over time. From 2010 till now, Bitcoin has risen from 0 to 5,800 US dollars per one Bitcoin this morning. So I am telling you that if you had invested 20 cedis in Bitcoin just in 2010, today you and your entire generation needed not to work till you die. It will be what we call, what would we call them? The richest people ever. Yeah. Because 20 cedis could have given you like over thousands of Bitcoins. Multiply just 1,000 of Bitcoin by 5,600. You will get the total value of Bitcoins. That should give you about 56,000 Bitcoins. Now, one Bitcoin would be 5,800 US dollars. Multiply 56 million Bitcoins by 5,800 US dollars. That will tell you your net worth. I don't think you could want to do any work to die anymore. Somebody like me, I'll not wait till I die. But we lost that opportunity big time. Africa and all these good people refused to accept Bitcoin because we were so scared of anything from the internet. A lot of people told us that it was just a scam. Anything internet is going to deceive us. We are going to lose our money, so we refused to embrace it. Roadshow, we call him the Bitcoin Jesus. Today is one of the richest man you can talk about in the cryptocurrency community. He embraced Bitcoin as at 2010. Today, Roadshow can buy Ghana. I am not exaggerating. You can check that on Google. African Scofield Egusa, the man who actually introduced us to cryptocurrency in 2015, I think if he cannot buy Ghana, he can buy UTS. Apart from him, Nawab Bitcoin, a friend of mine who lives in Kumasi, a professional teacher, got in touch with Bitcoin for about 3 years now, when Bitcoin was actually trading around $60 or so. Today, Nawab Bitcoin has resigned as a professional teacher. He doesn't teach, and he lives in one of the luxurious houses you can talk about in Kumasi. I have been with him before. So what are we waiting for? We've lost the opportunity with Bitcoin already. How many of us in this room can afford 30,000 Ghana cedis to buy one Bitcoin? Absolutely no. But we have something we call the Dash Digital Cash, which is still very cheap. And I'm going to tell you why you should invest in Dash Digital Cash and why Dash Digital Cash is even better than Bitcoin. You know why? Because the man who founded Bitcoin cannot be found. So nobody maintains the network of Bitcoin. A lot of problems today has been arising within Bitcoin. And I'll dig into all of that. I hope I don't take much time of yours. Now, Dash Digital Cash, as it was found in 2014, was trading near to zero. But because it has a total supply which is less than what Bitcoin has, I just mentioned 18.9 million, people keep on embracing Dash. And because of that, today, one Dash is trading around 325 US dollars. Which is about 12 million. 1,200 Ghana cedis. Alright? Now, these cryptocurrencies like Dash Digital Cash are divisible. You can decide to even buy 5 cedis worth of cryptocurrency. Dash is just about 2 to 3 years old. Okay? And Dash has already made way. Bitcoin took about 6 years, about 5 to 6 years before it could hit $300 per one. Now you ask yourself why Dash is is making such a big wave. Dash is making such a big wave because Dash have what we call the Slack forum, and this is it. That crossbar you see there is what we call the Dash Nation. Dash allow people, community members, myself and you, who have ever used our money to buy Dash or who are interested in Dash to join the community. You get in touch with the developers, those who are developing the Dash Digital Cash. You get in touch with anybody working with Dash Digital Cash on a platform we call the Dash Nation. So you can interact, ask questions, make suggestions, and buy Dash from anybody from that forum. It gives you what we call the real support system. Apart from Dash, no other cryptocurrency gives you this real support system. Now Dash allows you to make a transaction instantly. We call it what? The instant send. Instant send. The instant transactions with Dash Digital Cash is up to you. You make the choice to make your transaction instant. And when you click on your wallet, instant, or you go home, take your time to go through the menu. The top left bottom they were showing you, and the top right bottom, go through and open everything and stay. If you are making a Dash transaction, once you have internet connection, and you choose instant send, and I'm also making a mobile money transaction, the one making the Dash transaction will have it go faster than the one sending the mobile money. That is the beauty of Dash. Now, apart from Dash instant send, like I just mentioned, Bitcoin charges when you are making a transaction. Yesterday, the $300 transaction I made, Bitcoin charged me $5. The miners charged me $5 for the transaction to go through. And $5 equivalent in cedis, that is about 20 Ghana cedis. 20 Ghana cedis just to send, about 12 million to someone, 1,200 cedis. Which mobile money will even charge me 12 cedis, right? But Dash, because the person said I should send in Bitcoin, if I was sending Dash, Dash would have charged me about 0.01 cents. That is equivalent to something like 32 pesos. So it is actually prudent and best for us, like students, and I know this room is, most of us are students, to embrace Dash Digital Cash, because we keep on losing a lot of money to MTN mobile money and to Vodafone Cash when we are making transactions with them. Because you send 20 cedis and they charge you 50 pesos. While you could send 20 cedis to someone and they will charge you something less than 20 pesos through Dash. What else do you want? Alright, apart from that, I've already spoken about the private send, aka dark send. Now we have the Dash governance system. In the Dash governance system, Dash governance was implemented to help maintain the network and improve decision making about Dash network. And I've spoken about that already. Then we have the dashboard system. Remember I spoke about masternodes and I said masternodes are just what? Shareholders. If you are a shareholder to a business entity, don't you have the right to vote? You have the right to vote. So Dash allows you what? The right to vote in decision making. Now what do you vote on in Dash? We have what we call the treasury system. Dash is self-funding. Dash says that anybody who is doing anything, like I am here talking to you people, anybody who is doing anything concerning Dash Digital Cash to improve on Dash Digital Cash, whether adoption and usage, whether maintaining of the network, whatever it is, the person should be paid. The person should be rewarded, because you shouldn't be doing this for free, man. You will eat, you will drink, you will drink. So they set up a treasury system to reward people who are working to improve on the network like I am here. Now the treasury system is a platform. Let me show you that on the machine quickly. So as we are here talking, Center for Liberty and Entrepreneurship won a big proposal to run Dash for a whole year. And you can also do that. You necessarily don't need an organization to do this. It's just because we don't explore the internet. There are a lot of opportunities out there. So Dash is self-funded. Now you may ask yourself, they don't have a central organization. How do they fund these proposals? Okay, they fund these proposals by what we call the block reward. As miners or people keep on creating blocks of Dash cryptocurrency, the miners working on the network and digging for the cryptocurrency gain what? A percentage of the share, and they have 45% of it. Masternode holders, people who invested 1,000 Dash in the network just to keep maintaining the network, also gain what? 40%, 45% of the share of the block reward. And the remaining 10% goes to the treasury fund. The treasury fund is what they use to take care of budgets submitted to the network. Now, apart from this, voting in the Dash network is very, very important. So, in everything you are going to do, you must be genuine about it. You must be as much as honest and realistic, such that it should be easily achievable before people will believe in you. Because it costs a lot of money to submit a proposal. And like I said, I mentioned earlier, I have been taking big risk. I borrow a lot of money just to invest, just to help my organization grow, and sometimes I fail. So before I submitted a proposal for this, I paid 7,000 Ghana cedis. And if the proposal had not won, I would have lost the 7,000 Ghana cedis. Imagine, you are going for an election, and the election is very competitive because we have a lot of people submitting proposals. Today we have 23 proposals there. And you know that the post you are going for is the same post another person is going for. And you have decided to spend 70 million, of which you know that yes, if they don't go to you, your money is gone. And that money you even have to borrow it from a friend. Charlie, it's not easy. Now, why am I talking to you about Dash cryptocurrency? Because I am challenging each of you that if you are able to buy a percentage of Dash right now, even if it is 20 cedis you used to buy Dash today, I am challenging you that by the end of 2017, you will have more than triple of your money. And if you don't get it, you can contact me personally, I will pay you. In February this year, we organized our 3 days workshop at 8 service, and that was just $40. February, that was $40. That was just about $40 in cedis is about 160 cents. From February till now, we're in October. How many months? And that is already about 1,200, 1,300 cedis. Which investment will ever give you that in this world? No. Meanwhile, your investment is in your own pocket. You don't need to join the network market to get people money before your money grows. You don't need to get somebody to chase others to invest before your money grows. No. You buy your Dash, it is on your Dash wallet, the wallet you guys have installed, right? You wake up and you on your internet and you open and you see your money, you look at your previous list, whether it is increasing or reducing. You smile and put it back in your pocket. And as and when you open and you see that yes, it has increased much, you will simply exchange it for cedis again. So undertake your physical projects. They are not beautiful. Nobody needs anything from you. So as students, if you want to leave campus and go to start a business, or if you are unemployed right now, even if you are employed and you aim to be rich, I'm telling you that Dash is where to go. Because Dash has a big supply of 18.9 million. And the 18.9 million is going to be divided across the whole world. Has 7 billion people in the world. Imagine just 1 billion people start buying Dash. Today, people who use Dash are not even up to 1 billion. Far below that. We have about 500,000 people across the world who actually uses Dash right now. And Dash has really increased from 0 to $325. That is about 1,300 cedis. Now imagine we have about 1 million people using Dash. Because these same people who are going to buy Dash are buying from the 18.9 million. And supply is fixed. So price is definitely to what? Suit up. So why don't you invest in it now? And I am happy. Bill Gates said he will die a trillionaire. He wants to be called a trillionaire before he dies. And the only way he would achieve this is to invest in Dash Digital Cash. You can verify this. Roger Ver made a statement that I supported in growing Bitcoin cryptocurrency, but today I am diverting all my investment towards Dash because I am a big guy. I spend a lot of money every day, and when I am sending $500,000 US, Bitcoin charges me about 5% of that as transaction fee. Dash charges me less than 1%, so I am investing in Dash. You can imagine what is going to happen. And there are a lot of YouTube videos that experts have forecasted the value of Dash in the next 1 year. And if you watch those videos on YouTube, I'm not going to tell you about them. I want you to just use your phones or whatever and study. If you watch them, you are going to be shocked. So I don't want anyone to leave this room without making a decision to get out of poverty. Before we took this step, we decided that yes, we have suffered a lot. We have enjoyed a lot of poverty, though it is not enjoyable. But other people should not enjoy the same thing. And you can get out of poverty by embracing Dash Digital Cash. And before I take my sheet, I just want to share with you a text message I got from a friend in the morning. This friend of mine, I have started the hustling together with him. He's currently in the University of Winneba, and things have really gone bad. Because when I got exposed to Dash Digital Cash, because he's someone we have suffered a lot together back, I introduced him to Dash Digital Cash. He said, Salam. Me, these things, I don't believe them. These online things, Charlie, it could just be for us to lose our hard-earned money. But yesterday he sent me a message, so touching, and I want to share this. I won't mention his name because I know he's probably Facebook friends with some of you guys. He said, I got up this morning and I was questioning myself, why is it that my party, my personal person is far gone? The person I used to hustle with in Tamale. Is it about air freshers that we didn't sell? Is it about general goods that we didn't hawk? Is it extra classes we didn't start? Is it insurance companies we didn't try? Is it people who didn't laugh at us? In fact, Salam, don't forget our idea of starting private classes association. And that man who told us, you guys are just jokers. We shared dreams together. Remember big dreams. Now I don't understand. Is it that we were not really connected, or we were just passing by friends? Is it that you never told me when opportunity came, or I was just not paying attention? There is no doubt that you will excel in these things that you are doing. I see you far gone already. So what are we going to do now? Yes, I know I didn't pay attention, and I've regretted deeply. Are you just going to treat me like any other person? I don't know if it was any of you, how you are going to respond to this message. This was so touching. You know, a personal person. He had an accident just last month with this guy, and I didn't even know. He didn't tell me because he thought I had forgotten of him. Indeed, I never forgot of him. But I just don't work with people who don't believe in me. I don't work with people who don't share the same dreams with me. And if you have a friend today who never believe in you, if you have a friend today who don't see you making any impact, if you have a friend today who doubts everything you do, please do away with me. The person is either going to influence you or you influence him. And if you know that there's little opportunity of you influencing him, then don't allow him to influence you. Of course, you are working on your passion and you have to harness on it. I told him, yes, I know, you didn't pay attention. But I'm not going to let you go because I've seen that you really regretted. For you to have sent me this powerful message this early morning, I am going to work with you. I am not rich yet, but I've resigned from my national service because I have to pay attention to these things we are doing. I only attend programs twice in a month to speak. I appear on 2 radio discussions, I appear on 1 television discussion, and I get paid more than 2,000 Ghana cedis. Which organization will ever pay? So it is beautiful when you want it to be beautiful. Don't worry about the hard times you are going through. Explore. Social media is a very, very big tool. And I am telling you, I came into contact with all these things through Facebook. Share good messages, follow good people, be consistent in what you say or what you post about on Facebook. The right people who are interested in what you post are going to contact you. And when they contact you, be able to introduce yourself genuinely to them. Tell them honestly who you are. And when you are honest with them, be ready to learn from them. Introduce them to what you are doing. They will equally introduce you to what they are doing. And if you can share ideas with them. Today, not only are we talking about Dash, but we are starting a very beautiful Dash project in northern Ghana that I want to share with you guys. We call that project the Dash Direct Giving Project. We have decided that yes, we have a mission some time ago to help poor people. Today, we are not rich enough, but we are comfortable. We could help others people to become comfortable. So we decided that yes, because we are not rich enough, let's select 17 households in northern Ghana and start helping them. And these 17 households, we are going to give them what we call the basic income. And yes, by Ghana government, what is the basic income a month? Who knows? I think basic income is about 250 cedis, right? It's about, it may be less or more. But I know for sure that everyone is entitled to 7 cedi a day. Multiply that by 30. Now we are starting to give these people a basic income of 500 Ghana cedis every month, free. We don't need them to work for us. They shouldn't do anything. They should just take it and change their lives. This is beautiful. And look, if you give somebody who is really into poverty and struggling, if you give him money and you coach him very well to spend the money, the person is going to get out of that poverty. And I want to see us all here one day start projects like this that can pay people basic income for at least 2 years, like we are doing. We are running this project for 2 years. We are going to continue paying them 500 cedis every month for 2 years. And those households, we expect that by then their lives will change. If all of us in this room can do that to 17 households in Ghana or the most poorest aspects of Ghana, then we can fight poverty. And I think that should be a dream of all of us. So thank you very much for your attention. I'll take a few questions today.
Mr. President, thank you for the presentation. I have a friend at UCC. Actually, he is my classmate at JHS. He was talking about cranial points like TPC, and they are giving cranials. I think, if not similar, they are the same, like Dash. But although he forced me to get registered because he's benefiting, and as a good friend, he won't let me sit behind and he will go and leave me. But I still have some doubts, and since you are the president for Ghana, if I got it right, I just want you to assist me so that I can have 100% trust in it. My question is, you talk of miners and those who are mining. If you go to Kenya, say you can see those miners there. Where can I find those miners so that I can also join them? So we mine together. Because we all need cash. And two, where does the money come from? Because if I got you clear, you said that if I invest, I should just sit and then it will be increasing. Or that's not what you said. Yes. So where will that come from? And where is it coming from? Is it from those who are daily investing, or my money that I've used to invest, someone is going to use it, and after some days, after he benefited from it, or after he benefits from it, we are going to share the benefits? Or is it that the miners are going to mine, and then at the end of the day we share what they got from underground? Thank you.
Very powerful contribution and a very, very interesting question. Yes, I don't want to break your heart, but sincerely, like I said, we'll be honest to ourselves. I'll give you the hard nuts and I'll break it down. TBC is a big scam. Now, I was speaking in a forum in Nigeria about cryptocurrency, and somebody just stood up. Yes, I am an investor in cryptocurrency, and I asked him, how much have you invested in cryptocurrency? He said, yes, I've invested $100. And I was like, which coin? He said, TBC, the billion coin, right? And I told him, my friend, if you can send your billion coin or whatever to me right now, I am going to pay you cash right now before I walk away. And he couldn't do that, so I told him, you are in big trouble. Like I said, in every good thing, there are bad things. Okay? Most of these cryptocurrencies are just created by people, Africans. And you know Africans, but we already have some, I don't know, it pains me that I am an African, my dear. Oh, seriously, we always want to cheat people. The billion coin is created by some fucking stupid people in Nigeria. And their motive is just to scam people. So they convince you to invest your money in the billion coin, and they have locked up the network, so you can't even withdraw your money. The billion coin is not even capped. It has no fixed amount. And let me remind you, let me stand up and speak economics right now. You've heard about Keynes? Keynes. That man, and you've heard about Friedrich Hayek. Yes. In the history of money, Friedrich Hayek had an argument that money, Keynes argued that money should be made inflationary proofing. Said that there shouldn't be a fixed amount of money, like the central bank creates a fixed amount of money, and as and when they will create more. Do you understand? Keynes said there shouldn't be anything like that. But Hayek said, if there is nothing like that, then money is not going to have value. Is that not true? So any real money should have what we call a cap. That is currency capitalization. We call it currency capitalization. It should have a maximum supply. Most of these cryptocurrencies, like Ethereum, on the projector, let me show you something. Like Ethereum has no maximum supply. It is not capped. Meaning the people who created Ethereum at any time can decide that yes, we want to create more Ethereum in the market. Do you understand? And if they are creating more Ethereum, so if one Ethereum is like $100, and they decide that we want to create more Ethereum, they will create more Ethereum, more money will be chasing, few people. The value of the coin will reduce. Is that not it? It's the same thing with the billion coin they did. And with the billion coin, they've not even been able to maintain the network. So people who have their money in the billion coin, some have even forgotten about it. So I'm surprised that you still hold some. And contact that your friend, yes, you know what, at the beginning, those people will make sure that you earn something. It's just like joining the network market. I've tried a lot of network markets. They will confuse you. They make sure you gain. And trust me, today you can even get home and you can still send your billion coin. And they will say, yes, we have maintained the network. And the following morning, they will dupe you. Now, every one of us should take this website into consideration. Look, you are ready there. Coinmarketcap.com is opening. Now you see we have what cryptocurrency market capitalizations. If you go here, you will see all the cryptocurrencies that are listed. Okay? If you click on any one and you don't see the total supply of the cryptocurrency, my brother, you can use it as a medium of payment if the network is good. If you have confirmed that they are genuine, use it just for transactional purpose. But don't think of investing in it because at any time you can decide to increase the supply. So let me show you an example. Okay, so we have what we call Bitcoin. Let's check it out. Okay, so Bitcoin has, you see, we have what the maximum supply, right? 21 million Bitcoins. Have you seen it here? Meaning nobody can increase the value of Bitcoin again. That's the maximum supply. And everybody in this world who is interested in Bitcoin is going to be buying from this. Now let's look at Ethereum. This is Ethereum. There's nothing like maximum supply. Have you seen? There's nothing like maximum. We have the market cap of Ethereum, we have the volume. The volume is the trading amount in circulation. They don't have anything like maximum supply. So if you're investing in Ethereum right now, you are just joking. You can buy Ethereum as a medium of payment just to make transactions. Maybe you want to buy something online or you go to a store to buy something, they say they accept Ethereum. Yes, you can keep it to make transactions. But don't think of investing to make money from Ethereum. Of course, I'm not saying it will not grow because those developers could decide at any time that let's give it a capitalization, let's give it a maximum supply and decide not to increase it. Now look at Dash. I would have been here advocating Bitcoin, but I'm not doing that because Bitcoin have a lot of problems and I've already shown you guys those problems. Where is Dash? Now you see maximum supply of Dash, we have 18,900,000, 18.9 million. These are genuine cryptocurrencies, my brothers and sisters. So don't just go investing. People have made it simple for you to understand. Go online. There's everything online. Your second question was about mining. The second question was about mining. You want to mine. Yes, you can go to Tapua to mine gold. But you can just mine on your laptop. All you need is get a very powerful laptop. Get 24/7 internet connection. Buy what we call the Dash mining machine. It is very expensive. It is about $5,000 US. That machine. So most of us cannot afford the machine. But guys who can afford the machine have decided that yes, I will buy the machine and I'll be doing my mining. So invest your money with me. Okay, let's make an agreement. I'll give you will sign with me and give me your money to improve on my mining network, because if the person is able to get more money, investors, the person will buy more machines and mine more. Is that not it? So that I'll be giving you what we call the mining reward. The person will be giving you profit, a percentage of the total profit he makes. That's what this gentleman is doing. He has been investing with one particular mining firm that they pay him every week or every month? They pay?
Every week.
They pay him every week. Okay. Now, if you want to invest in crypto mining, you can contact ePay, right?
Yeah.
There are a lot of websites. Just go online and Google. There are a lot of websites. There are a lot of guys in Ghana, Kumasi and Accra doing the mining. Internally, we've not got any serious person to start it. Because even internally, apart from, sorry to use this word, the Game Boys who are so familiar with internet, most people still don't believe in this cryptocurrency thing. Meanwhile, people just in Kumasi embrace this thing and they are living luxurious. Okay. Now you spoke about where would the money come from for your investment to increase. Remember I said it has a total supply of 18.9 million. The whole world is buying from that 18.9 million. Okay. Bitcoin have 21 million. Out of the 21 million, only 16 million has been bought, has been put to the public. Only 16 million are in circulation. Out of this 16 million has made Bitcoin price to increase from 0 to $5,800 as we speak. Imagine by the time people finish buying the 21 million, how much Bitcoin will be. Now we have just a meager amount of Dash in circulation now. And Dash is already about $300+ US. Now if you go to buy Dash now, Each day, every time, as we speak, people are buying, people are on the network buying, exchanges buying. We have the coin exchange, we have eBay, we have a lot of them online you can buy from. You can contact us personally. My guys all here, including myself, all sell and buy Bitcoin and Dash. Okay. Now, if you buy, as people are buying, they are all buying from this 18.9 million. And remember, the 18.9 million is fixed. More people are buying. So what is going to happen? Price will increase. So if you buy 20 series Dash now and it is say 0.001 Dash, and people keep on buying Dash, you will still have your 0.1101 Dash, which is equivalent to 20 series. But the equivalence in 20 series will be increasing because people are buying it. Do you get it? So your money will be increasing, but the Dash value itself will be the same. I hope you understand. So you can keep one Dash. You can keep one Dash. And it will remain one Dash till the kingdom come. But that one Dash can become $10,000 one day. I hope you get it. So that's the way we make money.
From UGS to our campus. There is a saying that there's no fire without, there's no smoke without a fire. Any moment you see smoke, definitely there's fire there. Yeah, I want to know you, these people. What is your mission? What is your aim in that? What do you get from that? I don't know whether you get my question. Because I just heard something like transaction, they will charge you 0 point something as compared to Bitcoin. You are just giving a comparison like that. So it means that if you do transaction, at least they will charge you something small on that. Whether I bring my psychology. Yesterday, me, myself, I was not aware of these things. So yesterday, I was having a friend who is part of you. We argue and say, no, me, I don't understand till I get to this place. Because me, you can't tell me that I can just invest, then my money is just holding there like that. At the end of the day, then I'll get something on it. Without doing the people who are doing it without getting anything, or you are not aiming at anything. So at least I want to know what's in there. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll tell you why. As I'm here, I am not getting anything for convincing you to buy Dash. Okay? And whether you buy it or not, I don't care. Because other people, parts of the world are buying. Now, why we are doing this is that I invest in Dash. All my crew invest in Dash. Okay? And we all understand that it has a fixed supply. Price only increases when more people buy it. Is that not it? Now, if I convince her to also invest in it because it's a good investment, is it not a person buying? So you convince someone, is it not a person buying? What is going to happen to price? It's going to increase. Is my investment not going to increase? It's going to increase, so everybody gains. Is that not it? Nothing else. But because I have entered a car from Tamale to this place, because we need to pay for this bill, because we need to get people refreshment, I submitted a proposal which I showed you guys to the Dash Treasury Fund that for me to get people to buy more Dash, of which I will gain, they will also gain because they are also investors. They should what? Help me carry out the cost I will incur in talking to people to buy. Is that not it? Is it a big crime? No. I hope you understand. So, you talk about the transaction charges. Those charges they will charge you, say the 32 pesos or whatever, does not go to anybody. It goes to the miners. Because the miners are those that are approving the transactions. Okay? So the person have invested money to buy a high-grade computer, have uninterrupted power, keep uninterrupted internet. They use serious internet connections. Okay? They use very powerful machines, very costly. And I just mentioned one of them. It costs about 5,000 cedis. You want the person to just be approving transactions for you for free? No. But the developers, those who really build the coin itself, regulate them. They are telling them that, look, we are not going to allow you to go beyond a certain limit of charging people. Okay? And so the highest you can charge anyone in making that transaction should be $0.002. That is about 32 pesos. Do you get it? So the miners are up and doing it because they make money depending on the number of transactions they are able to confirm. Okay? And they have bought these automated machines to make sure that the instant send is enabled. So to be a miner, it doesn't require any knowledge about technology anymore. You buy the device, the 5,000 device, buy your laptop. There's a small device like a chip, okay? You insert it to your laptop, connect it to the machine, switch on your internet, switch on your power and go into sleep. The machine will be doing the mining for you. It is automated. Because the way the transactions have to go, the speed of the transaction, no human being can do it. It's just like mobile money. You know mobile money, MTN have systems in place that approves it for us. When you key in your password, it has to be approved by the MTN system platform before it goes to the one you are sending it to. So the only thing that we gain is that our investments are going to increase. And I won't mention how much I've invested in that. I love privacy. So that is it. It is not any big deal. Except that our trip is financed. And the trip is financed by people who believe in the network. And I want to say this. In fact, somebody from Accra, he's called Reverend Samuel Aziz. He gave me $50 yesterday. That was about 200 Ghana cedis, just to support me in this process, because he is investing in Dash, and he knows that if more people invest in Dash, his investment is also going to increase. As we are speaking, a lot of conferences are ongoing in the world, and we are just presenting opportunities. Is this left to you to either invest or not to invest? That is it.